My name is Olatoye Badmus, and I am a professional photographer, a portrait photographer, currently based in Lagos, but of course available to travel. I love what I do, and I believe it's a privilege to be able to freeze people's memories and be a huge part of their stories.
Hi everyone, my name is Olatoye. I sell joy for a living. I'm sure you're wondering what that is. I'm an event planner. I curate events and experiences for busy professionals and corporate organizations. Yeah.
My name is Omomi Oguntula. I'm the CEO of Chill City Drinks.
My name is Princess Bashira Busola Giwa. I'm the CEO of Ladid Catering and Event Planning Limited, the Peacock Lagos, Rab Automobiles, Rab Realtors, and I'm also the CEO of Ladid Rescue, where we do hospitality and tourism consulting. I'm a serial entrepreneur and I love to make money.
My name is Jinodo Okpeyemi, and I am the creative director of T Glams and T Glams Academy.
My name is Videographer. I am just a girl that loves building content, coming up with stories, living life, enjoying life, but seeing everything as a story and then looking for a way to tell it to the world. Basically, that's the kind of person I am. So yeah, I am just a girl that loves telling stories.
Photography wasn't what I studied in school. I've always been that one person during family gatherings that likes to take pictures. We had a small camera growing up, so I'd always take pictures. So I'd always loved it. I started taking pictures with my phone as well. I love landscape photographs and, stuff like that. So when I finished school, I went to the University of Lagos, by the way. It was a no-brainer for me. I decided to go to a school of photography to make it professional and actually pursue my passion in photography. So that's how I got started. My parents have always been amazing. They've always supported everything and anything that we decide to do. So my parents, actually, my mom paid for me to go to photography school. It was really amazing. And I should say thank you. Thank you, Mom. Thank you.
My journey into events, I'm laughing because it wasn't something that I prepared for. You know how people would have direction, they'll go to secondary school, come out, go to university, say they want to become doctors, lawyers, and all of those things. That wasn't the case with me. As a matter of fact, I wanted to become a doctor, but wasted many years at home trying to get into Unilag to study medicine. In that process, somebody who knew that I could, get my hands on things just said, it would be great for you to try out events. And I'm like, okay, let's give it a trial. And that was how the journey began. It wasn't something that I wanted to do. I mean, who would think about event planning? Event planning wasn't even really an in thing back then, But yeah. That was just long and short. It wasn't something that I planned out for. I would say event found me. Yeah, there was no direction. I just happened to find myself in the industry. What I studied in school was insurance in the University of Lagos. And obviously, makeup was not what I studied. But after school, when I told my parents that I wanted to go into the industry, my mom was like, makeup is local. Why do you want to do makeup? But like I said, passion for beauty was what kept me. So my head was, makeup or nothing. I enrolled myself. I went to the school myself. I reached out to my tutor myself. So that was it for me.
And I started the entire journey being a club PR, and I got tired of the nightlife because I couldn't concentrate to studies anymore. So I had to stop work for school. But then the customers from the club kept reaching out to me that they needed somebody genuine to give them plug to original drinks and original drink supply. And that's when my name crossed their minds, and that's where the Lord's work started from. I started with supply of 2 bottles, 3 bottles, 4 bottles here and there, and the same set of people requesting for bottles came back requesting for drink service as well. And that's where Omomi Drink Store came from. But then after a while, I felt uncomfortable. I mean, the name does not represent the kind of brand I want to build, because I feel that that name wasn't sustainable, and my thoughts were valid at that point. And we started the search for a new business name, and then Chill City Drinks came to life. And it's been 10 years of God's faithfulness, and here we are today.
What inspired me to start creating content with my phone is hunger. So I started up as a social media manager, copywriter, scriptwriter. Basically, I was along that line, but I was not in the production line. I was more or less the person that would write the scripts, the person that would direct, the person that would come up with stuffs that they would shoot. And the reason I actually started was because I thought, okay, I was handling a brand, like an event staffing brand. I needed people to get our services, start patronizing us. I started adding creating of content with smartphones as an add-on. Basically, if you book our services, we would give you free content, basically. So I didn't even monetize it then. So just supposed to be a plus for people that booked our event staffing services. So yeah, that's actually how I started. Basically, it was in a bid to get people to book or key into another brand I was working on. It had nothing to do with me starting because everybody was starting, or starting because I felt it was going to be a thing right now.
I started way back as when I was in SS1. So let's say over 30 years I've been in the business. I started with, my mom was my first teacher before I had training in school, and I started training from what I learned in school and what my mom taught me. I started training housewives to not be dependent on their husband, to have something doing that can bring money so that when they want to buy salt, they don't have to wait for their husband. And the progress that really, really made people celebrate me, like, wow, this young girl did something for our community. She empowered these women and all that. That was how I actually started.
Starting out in the photography space was pretty interesting for me. I was still reminiscing before this interview when I lost my grandpa like a couple of years back, and I had to take pictures of the event. And where I was learning photography at the time, I had to go and meet my boss to, lend me his camera, and he gave me the worst camera in the studio. The pictures came out really tacky. If I got how I met Kendavies, it had to do the videography, and I took and it was terrible. And it made me feel really bad back then. And I thought that, okay, maybe that's what, the industry was about. People just looking out for themselves and not caring about you. But then I was proved wrong when I met a wonderful photographer captured by Adesuwa. Hello, Adesuwa. She changed my orientation about collaboration in the photography industry, collaboration and friendship in the photography industry. And she would always say, you can use my stuff, you can use my camera, you can use my studio, you can use my... And it was so different for me. So that sort of gave me a soft landing, a soft launch into the photography in space. So when I needed stuff, I'd go to her. She'd give me this, give me that, or I'll just use her studio, use her lights and everything. So it made it pretty easy for me. So it didn't make me really feel alone. I never felt alone, And yeah, starting out was not so bad.
So the point I realized that it was going to be a serious business was, as an event I went for, I was one that was providing staffs for that event, right? And I happened to have created content free of charge for an MC, right? I just did my thing with my techno phone, not even a Samsung or an iPhone, a techno phone. That was, I think 2020. Yeah, COVID was 2020, right, or 2019. So I think it was a few months after COVID. So I created a video for this MC. And then this MC was like, oh, this is very nice. I have an event on Tuesday. How much will you collect? I say, so I can make money from this thing. So that was my turning point. I made videos for the MC, charged him one small amount like that. And before you know it, the MC posted on his page. And From there, event planners started reaching out to me. So yes, it was not a thing that I planned. It was a thing that I did because I just like to do it. And then from there, I discovered that it could be monetized, and then the clients started coming in.
In every business, if you don't have passion for it, you will turn back in the middle of the road. So whatever business you want to dabble into, you need to have passion for it. There will be times that you want to blame yourself that, why am I even in this business? But the passion, the reason why you started this business, a lot of people started this business because they saw people in this business living good life, living large. I started the business because I like the way I feel when people compliment my food, when they eat my food. Do you get? Everybody has different reasons for being in this business. I am in this business for a reason that cannot be explained to anybody, but can be felt by only me. And that is the reason. That reason is what pushes me, because I want people to have good meal. I want people to have affordable meal, good healthy meal, and not boring. Food doesn't have to be boring for it to be healthy and all that. Those are the passions that drive me to do what I do every day.
Biggest challenge is because it wasn't something that I had thought through. You know how if you want to become a lawyer, you would go to school, study law, go to law school, you'll be called to bar, and then you then begin to look for, a job in that field. In my own case, so I've not even gained admission into the university when I started events. Yes, I started very early, so I didn't have a direction. It wasn't something that my family, like event planning, what are you doing? And then considering the fact that when I started, I wasn't even making money, so my mother thought about like, you're just wasting your life. Everybody around me thought I was just wasting my life. They wanted me to get into the bank. Oh, you're very intelligent, get into banking. Banking was the in thing then. They'll probably give you a car. And then that was the time where if you start working with Access, I think it was Access, they'll probably give you a car. And they're like, get your life together. And I was like, you know what? I already found myself here. I think I just want to settle for this, right? It was a bit challenging because, when people cannot understand what your vision is, they want to talk you out of it. And then because I was dogged and consistent, it felt like I was a rebel. So you can imagine that in an African home, that was really tough. And then when you're doing something and you're doing it consistently and you're not making money, but you're very sure that this is what you really want to do. Because again, I started without having direction, but when I got into it, I knew this was what I wanted to do. Not just for the money's sake, but for impact, right? So one of the biggest challenges would be that people did not accept what I was doing at the beginning phase of my career. It was quite tough, but I pulled through.
There was one particular scenario I would never forget in my entire life. A lounge reached out to me for supply, and most of these lounge don't pay outrightly. They will pay after a period of time. And I was waiting for that fateful call to say, oh, come pick up your check. It was a completely different call I got that fateful afternoon, and I was called to come to the branch, and I had to go. On getting there, they told me, oh, the drinks I supplied were fake. I was confident in my source, because I don't just buy my drinks from a random supplier. I don't buy it from anywhere. I buy it from a particular source. And I can tell you with my chest that the same supplier that has been supplying me since that time has been the one supplying me up till date, to know how consistent I've been with this person. So, even despite being in early days in the industry, I was confident in whatever the person supplied me. But then I knew where the problem came from immediately, and I accepted my loss. They refused to pay me for those products because they said it was fake, their customers didn't pay them. But then it was a learning point for me, because I would have given up at that point, but I did not give up. I picked up myself, I picked up the lessons, and that lessons has saved me up till today. Going forward, for every bottle I'm sending out to any customer, it has to be stamped or signed. That's my own drink security. You can't call me after a while to tell me, oh, the product you supplied me is fake. I'm going to ask you to bring that bottle. Once I see the bottle, I will tell you if this product was from me or it wasn't from me.
I think a major challenge for me starting as a smart videographer was the fact that I had to learn to work with other media members. You go for an event, you are not just the content creator, there's a photographer, there's a videographer, there are other content creators, right? There's always a battle for space, a battle for supremacy, a battle for authority. You understand? So I actually had to, over time, grow and condition myself in such a way that no matter where I am shooting, no matter who I am shooting with, the team I'm shooting with, I end up doing everything I need to do, and I end up still maintaining good relationship, believe me. So yeah, that was like a challenge. I didn't have challenges getting clients. I didn't have challenges getting people to book me. Really, I didn't have that challenge because I was the kind of person that if you pay 2 naira to book my service, I will do a job of 200 naira, and someone on your TL, someone on your page will see that job and now want to pay me 2,000 naira for that video. So basically, that's the kind of ideology I have. No matter the kind of jobs I get, I put my 100% and give it all I have. Yeah.
So when I started, I think my upgrade session was during COVID. And it was a lot for me. I wasn't going to lie, because imagine upgrading with a lot of thousands and there was nobody to work on, there was no clients, just in your house, your box in your house. So that was the tough time for me. COVID was a very crazy year for me, I wouldn't lie, and I was almost at the verge of giving up. But with God, all things are possible. I'm a child of God. I had to pray during those seasons. So prayer for me then was it. Prayer kept me going, and consistency. I was praying and I was still working. Even while there was COVID, I was still doing shoots in my studio, in my house. So I was consistent and I was prayerful. Yeah, that's it. Prayer and consistency kept me going.
There was a period of time between the years 2020 through to 2023 that was pretty hard for me. I experienced loss. I lost my sibling, and it took a toll on my mental health. And we all know that mental health is very important, when it comes to being a creative and all of that. And I remember I started interning with Tosin Junaid, and I'll just go to work. And one day he called me and asked, he said, "Are you sure that you still want to do this photography?" Because I was just like a zombie in that period. But I knew that it's something I wanted to do. So it was a very slow period for me. I was hardly putting out a work. I hardly believed in myself anymore. So it took a while to go from there to where I am now. Where am I now? I'm now a mom of 2. I had 2 babies back to back. And the amazing thing is, I've done more work in the past 2 years than I did before I even got pregnant. So that taught me something as a woman. It showed me my strength as a woman, that I didn't need to completely pause my life and my passions because I'm a mom.
Plenty moments, not just a moment. Number one, when you tend to do something and do it for long, right, and you are not making money off it, there's a way it will just discourage you, because again, this wasn't something that I was now doing for hobby. Even though I started it out as maybe child's play, it became something that was fetching me money, right? That was how I got to make my money, do things and all of those things. So not making money consistently off it was very, very discouraging. Not getting clients often was very, very discouraging. Not having that level of, I wouldn't say support now, because it's so funny how that, even though my parents were like, do something else, my mom to be precise, right? She was like, do something else, that is structured. She was very supportive. I remember telling my husband recently how that I wish I could find those pictures where my mom was part of my ushers at an event, right? She was very supportive, but she was like, what are you doing? Look for something structured. So those kind of things can be really, really discouraging, right? Where you have passion for something. Because in my own case, I had passion for it. But again, I didn't understand structure to make it a proper business. So I was just coasting. And because I wasn't making money off it consistently, it was quite discouraging.
Seeing people openly appreciate my work and my crafts makes me really happy. It makes me feel fulfilled. I like to say that photography for me is not just about taking a nice image or a nice picture. It's telling the story of everyone that sits in front of my camera. And I like to tell that story with a lot of intentionality. So having people or clients that appreciate my work, pay me for it, of course, and, openly speak well of my brand and my craft makes me really happy, makes me feel really fulfilled.
It's a thing of pride to see my business where it is now, but it's a price I have paid over time. It's a price of consistency, patience, endurance, and resilience. I mean, Tree City is one of the most sought after brands in the industry right now, in an industry full of competitive colleagues, men. I mean, I thank God that I'm able to survive it up till this present moment. It's not been easy, I must tell you, but I mean, it was worth it.
How I feel having brands post me, the feeling is actually unexplainable, because the Fola of 2 years ago, 3 years ago was always about, oh, today, God, please, let them post me now. Let this wedding blog carry my work. I'm very good. You get, that was the Fola of that. But after a while, I had to abandon that thought and just focus on being me and letting people see my work, see me in action. And before you know it, people started investing in not just posting me, but telling other people about me. So yeah, I feel amazing. I feel good. I feel that the God that started this beautiful thing in my life has just started. He has not actually even enter the main point, but yes, I feel amazing, Sha.
I feel so happy. Like, is this me? Like, is this Tiglam's job? Yeah, I feel so happy about it. Seeing my jobs on clients, seeing people wear my makeup with so much confidence, because yeah, that's the joy of it. Let my job give you that morale. Let's give you that confidence, that boost. So I see when people wear my work with so much confidence and with so much joy. Yeah, I feel good.
Sometimes when I want to give up, I remember the Frenchman that came into my restaurant, and I wasn't around in the kitchen. I was resting, because sometimes running restaurants, you can be awake for 72 hours. So at that particular time, I was tired. I had migraines, so I had to go sleep. And they said the Frenchman was in the restaurant. He said he wanted a burger. They gave him a burger with a patty, and he said he didn't like it. They now came to wake me up. I went down. I was a bit better. I went down. I said, what does he want? He said he wants a very good burger. I said, what, can you give me like 20 minutes? He said, yes, he can wait 20 minutes. And after the 20 minutes, I presented him a burger, and he told me that even in Italy, he hasn't tasted a burger that tasty. And whenever I want to quit, I remember this Frenchman. I didn't even ask for his name. I can't remember. I always remember the joy in his eyes when he ate my burger. He said he hasn't eaten a burger this sweet in his life. And that keeps me going.
For me, staying consistent, it went beyond having to post every day, having events every day. Because, of course, there are always times when there's no events, there's no booking, there's no inquiry, and you still have to show up on your page. You still have to put out content. So what did I do? The strategy I employed was very simple. For every event I go to, aside the event the client pays for, I also ensure I create marketing material for myself. I create additional content that would not only sell the service that I went to offer to that client, but also sell additional service. For instance, I am going to create content for a makeup brand, right? Of course, the brief will say, oh, I want you to make a video of me just talking about my brand, doing makeup for a model and all. Yes, I'll create that content, but then I'll also ensure that I create additional content like random product videos, random show and tells. That way, on days where there is no content to post, I have something. That way, I can also have marketing materials to push out to clients that would want something like that, even if I didn't shoot something like that as a client's brief. So, being consistent goes beyond posting every day. It has to do with you going out of your way to create more, going out of your way to look for a story in everything and still tell it. That way, you get to have content irrespective of you being booked or not.
Balancing being a mom, not just being a mom of two under twos and a photographer has been pretty interesting. It's been a challenge that I've taken on with my full chest, right? Some days I'm overwhelmed and I'm like, who sends me a message? And other days I'm just grateful. But overall, it's been a beautiful experience. Sometimes I'm editing with my baby on my chest, one hand down. Sometimes I'm editing, my baby is crying, or many times I have to go for a shoot and have to like pump to make sure that she's fine at home. It's been a beautiful experience, but I'm very grateful that I don't have to stop my passion. I don't have to stop my work because I'm a mom, right? In fact, if anything, being a mom has helped me see things differently, has helped me see photographing my clients differently, helps me see photographing motherhood, maternity shoots, mommy and me sessions with a lot more passion because I understand what goes on behind the scenes, So yes, being a mom has fueled my photography journey with more passion rather than taking away from it. And I'm so grateful for it. And I'm grateful for help from my family, my parents, my partner. Thank God for help. Yeah, so it's been amazing.
Being a mother and being an entrepreneur, an event planner, so to say, I like to say that those are two different roles, right? I am always a mother, right? And my work is event planning. That's the work that I do. And so there is nothing like, oh, what's your priority and things like that. It's just how do you balance both? And balance for me would mean that my biggest priority goes to my children because life is in phases and seasons, right? Work can require like structure. I can delegate things at work, but I can't delegate motherhood. And these children would not be children forever, right? And they would never forget the role that I played in their lives. So that for me is the bedrock, right? The foundation with which I do all that I do. I go around a lot with my children. When I just, again, because my first will be 6 this year and my second will be 3. When I started like giving birth to children, that was even the active time, like that was when my business started picking up. So I would go everywhere with my children. I'll go to meetings, I'll go everywhere, I'll go for events. Sometimes I'll back one, I would hold the other, quite tough, but very fulfilling for me because, like I said, you can't just drop your child off, right? There are some certain values that I'm trying to imbibe in my children. And one of them is I also want them to see what I do at work. I want them to understand the concept of work and being responsible. It might look like, oh, they are too small. Oh, would they know? Oh, you are stressing them. The truth is, you are on my back for crying out loud. You are not being stressed, So that is the background. But on the journey, I would say that I'm grateful for support system. Like I'm currently doing this. I have, one of my team members right here in this studio with me. I have my husband out there. So I'm grateful for support system, my team members, I'll say that everybody just, team up together to ensure that we are all doing what we're supposed to do, right? The work and wherever it is that they can assist as well with the children, they also help with that while my eyes are still on them at this crucial stage of their life. So yeah, I hope that answers the question.
Start from where you are. Don't be tired. It's never going to be easy. You just need to keep pushing. The sales is never going to come every day. There are moments, there are days, there are weeks, there are months that you are not going to see anyone to say, oh, hello, what are you selling there? But there are times that it will come and you'll be so excited. Oh my God, it looks like God has remembered me. Everybody's calling me. Everybody wants me. Don't give up. There are days that it comes hard, and there are days that it comes tough. And there are quite a lot of challenges that will come in between that nothing is going to ever prepare you for it. But you just need to be able to be strong, to be able to withstand anything that comes. Be prepared for anything. There are days that they randomly call me that, oh, my truck is somersaulted. What am I going to do? We are going to look for solution, because trust me, I have to be at a venue at a particular time. Now, I am late. The next thing is solution, not, oh, I'm going to sit down in my parlor crying or in my office crying. No, what we need to do is get up, find solution, and move. Because our customers don't care about whatever we go through back end. What they care about is the results, and that's what we are going to show them. You don't let anybody see the weakness. You don't let anybody see what you are going through. What everybody cares about is the result, and that is what you should work towards.
There's a Yoruba adage that says that bí àbárẹ́ ni fẹ̀yìntì, bí ọ̀lẹ là ń rí. It is not easy. So I'm not here to sugarcoat it for you that it is easy. This is going to be a reality check. But one thing I would advise you is believe in yourself. Believe in yourself and let nothing stop you. The passion you have is what will drive your business and what will drive your dreams. People will tell you that your dreams are tall. They've told me that my dreams are too big. But I believe that my dreams being big is that what made me who I am today. People will undermine your dream. People will undermine you. But you need to be focused. But remember one thing that people do not remember every time. Many roads lead to a destination. It's not only a straight road that leads to a destination. You can be going to Ifakoijaye and you can take a lot of routes to get to Ifakoijaye. Not one route gets to Ifakoijaye.
The encouragement I would give any young lady or young woman pursuing their passion is this. Don't leave God out of your story. Let Him lead you, let Him guide you. It's the way, it's the truth, and the life. And when He says it's the way, it's not, we limit it sometimes to Christianese, but it's the way really, it's the inspiration. Is the reason why, is the one that has giving you the gift that you have now. So why would you want to do the work without Him? It's like buying a car, right? And not looking at the manufacturer's manual, asking the manufacturer how this car is supposed to work. It will be a lot of trial and error, even if you eventually figure it out yourself. Save yourself time and energy and ask Him what He wants you to do with the craft that He has given to you. And then you see things actually like take off. And when I say take off, it's not like you're expecting that, I'm not talking money-wise now, right? I mean, you see how it feels like to live a life of purpose. Yeah. And then the money will come. The money will be a bonus. The money won't be the reason why. The money will be, in addition to the life of purpose that you're already living. So don't give up. Keep at it. Be consistent. Do your best. If you need to pause. If you need to recalibrate. But don't stop.
Number one, I would say that be very sure that what you're doing is what you're supposed to be doing. There is something as pushing at the wrong things, and you do not want to succeed at what will eventually fail. So be very sure, right, that what you're doing is what you're supposed to be doing. I'm a Christian, unashamedly. So I like to wait on God to be sure that, what I'm doing is what I'm supposed to do part-time. And good for me is that I also have like great accountability structures, right? So I can, if I feel like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, I can run it by my husband and run it by my pastors. And they're like, pray some more, be sure, but I don't think that that's where you should go. And then other times they're like, just fly, go ahead, that's what you should be doing, So when you know that you are doing what you're supposed to be doing, that sort of like rests you. Because you know that even if it takes a while, you will eventually succeed at the right thing, right? So that's the first advice that I would give to anyone. Be sure that what you're supposed to do is what you are actually pushing at, right? That's what you are consistent at. That's what you are bold at. That's what you are audacious about. That would be the number one advice that I would give to anybody. And then when you're at it, you don't sow a seed in the ground and then keep uprooting to check if that seed is already germinated. The moment you bring that seed out of the floor, you have already killed the seed. So when planting, you put the seed in the ground, you keep watering it, you nurture it. That's how you grow things that will last. So if you want to grow things that will last, you need patience to see through. So in the process of waiting, keep owning your skill, because there's a difference between skill and work, right? So keep owning that skill, keep getting better, and eventually you would bear fruit. You will bear fruit.
Don't give up. Do not give up, because the country is hard, yeah? People will push you, people will discourage you, but you have to have this within yourself that there is something greater for you. There used to be like there is light at the end of every tunnel. Just have it in mind that yes, that whatever it is you are doing, always have it in mind that it's going to end well. And look at the future. Yeah, I think the future gives a greater joy. When you see the future and you believe that yes, I'm getting better and I'm going to get better, it will all come out well. Don't give up. Pray to God. Whatever you do, I used to say, you pray, because prayer is the only thing that can help you achieve whatever it is you want to achieve. So, and be consistent. Don't give up, pray to God, and be consistent. It's just 3 keywords for you. So, yeah.
For young ladies hoping to start their journey in content creation, see, don't let anybody hold you down. Start. Just do it. Don't underestimate yourself. Don't believe that, I because I don't have a lot of followers, because I don't know people, because I'm using a small phone. Don't let that hold you down. Start, do it, and believe me, that beans that you put on fire, it will soft. It will dawn one day. So yes, just start, just do it.
My name is Olatoye Abudu Badmus, and I am a professional photographer, a portrait photographer, currently based in Lagos, but of course available to travel. I love what I do, and I believe it's a privilege to be able to freeze people's memories and be a huge part of their stories.
My name is Olatoye, and I am the creative director of T Glams and T Glams Academy.
My name is Omomi Oguntula. I'm the CEO of Chill City Drinks.
My name is Princess Bashiria Busolagiwa. I'm the CEO of Ladid Catering and Event Planning Limited, the Peacock Lagos, Rab Automobiles, Rab Realtors, and I'm also the CEO of Ladid Rescue, where we do hospitality and tourism consulting. I'm a serial entrepreneur and I love to make money.
My name is Videographer. I am just a girl that loves creating content, coming up with stories, living life, enjoying life, but seeing everything as a story and then looking for a way to tell it to the world. Basically, that's the kind of person I am. So yeah, I am just a girl that loves telling stories.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you. My name is Adesola Olanrewaju again, for those of you who are new here. I look forward to doing this again and again and again and again.
Hey, fast me, Kile Shele. It's International Women's Day, and I hope you have an amazing one.